you leaving at 12? Okay, is anybody still working? I said, I'm like, 3 more minutes, 3 more minutes. Huh? You ready? Okay. Who else is still working? Aaron, you good? Randy, still working? Huh? You should?
Yeah.
Okay. Good? David, I know you good. You good? Okay. So, all right. So I want to, we're gonna do this one and then I'm gonna give you a totally new packet and then we're gonna work those together. All right, so let's go over the answers to the last one. 31, did you guys get? A, good. 32, G. 33, A. 34, J. 35, D. 36, H. The last paragraph, if you read that, it tells you that it could have arisen out of the attempts to bite intruders, or it must have arisen from a different, perhaps accidental kind of behavior. So it was right there. All right, number 37. B. 38. What, Amy?
I got J.
J. That's in paragraph 4. Go back to paragraph 4. 39.
Right.
And what'd you get? A. That's also in paragraph 4. And then number 40. H. Okay? So I did not spend time, I just told you where those answers were, so you can go back and look at it for time's sake. But going forward, with the new package you'll get, we'll get some definite strategies that you can use on these. And you can kind of see where you kind of went wrong on this one, because this is just a trial, all right? So I'm going to give you the more strategies, and then you'll going forward. Thank you. Going forward, you'll be able to use these strategies, and we'll see how we fare after that. All right, so you should have a white test, the test on white paper. So if you would, just go ahead and clear your desk of everything. Not everything. Yeah. Okay. Now, what does that test begin with?
Literary.
What's the name? What does it say?
Literary.
Right?
Narrative.
Right, but what's the passage? What does the passage begin with?
One of my best races.
One of my best races? Okay. Because I think that has math. The packet that you have has math in it as well. Does it? In the back? Okay. So hold on to that one. Hold on to that one. Yes. All right, so this one. So this is the one we're gonna work with, because that one has math in it. This is just reading only. So use this one on your desk. That's right. Kill off the trees for y'all. Okay. packet should have about 8 sheets to it. So it should be like the test and then questions, and then the test and then questions. All right. So what I want you to do is like pull it apart, because I want you to be able to have like the test, the passage on one side and the questions on the other side, side by side.
So all of it?
Yeah, you can put it all apart. But make sure you keep your passage and questions together. So I'm going to give you a couple of terms to think about that's going to help you with attacking the test. The first one is order of difficulty. So that means you put the test in the order in which you would like to read it. So whichever one is going to be the hardest for you, you might want to use that one, put that one last. Whichever one is going to be the easiest for you, put that one first. So now remember, in every test, you have prose fiction, social studies or social science, humanities, and natural science. That's how it's come. That's how the test comes. That's standard. But you can choose whichever order you want to take the test in, right? So choose now the order in which you want to take the test. So if you want to start with humanities, you're going to start first, second, third. However you want to do it, it's up to you. Go ahead and put that in order now. So that's your order of difficulty. Okay. So now once you've decided which test you're going to do first, go ahead and put the other test on the floor. Get everything else off your desk. We're only working with 2 sheets of paper right now. Okay? So if you have literary narrative, your question should start at 11. If you have social science, literary narrative, number 1. Social science, number 11. Humanities, 21. And natural science, 31. Just make sure you have the passage that matches your question. Why can't everything like this? Yeah. Okay. All right. So now, you're going to look at the questions. Only look at your questions. And the same thing, the steps that we're taking now, think about this when you get your test, on actual test day. So now, you want to look at the questions. Remember I said you look for keywords that will help you determine what they're asking for, right? The keywords that you should be underlining should consist of a noun, I wrote my notes, a proper noun, an unusual word, or dates. So we're going to put keywords that you're going to underline in the question. Proper nouns, unusual words, or dates. Now, if you see a question that says the primary purpose of the passage is, don't underline anything. You already know what they're asking you. Go to the next one and find either a proper noun, unusual word, or a date in the question. That's what you're going to be looking for. So go ahead, go through your questions now and start underlining. and this was a no-brainer for this one. Your line numbers also. Okay, so once we've got those, now, going back to what Drier said yesterday, you look at the questions, and rank them now, later, or never, okay? So your now questions will be the ones that you know, you're good at. Those are gonna be the ones that you go straight to and you answer. So you're good on those. The later questions, I might need to answer some more and then come back to that. The never questions that you have no idea what the heck they're talking about, you're going to use your letter or position of the day. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, look at them. Which questions are you going to answer right now? Just put a check by it. Questions that you know you don't know, you've already put the letter, you feel like you're going to put, use the letter of the day. And then which ones are you going to come back to? Now look at your answer stems. Look at your options for your answers. If you see that they have a lot of short answers, that's a pretty easy question. If you see they have long answers, the question may be a little challenging. A lot of words. We're in trouble. And the easiest ones to answer, well, of course, would be your short answers, the ones that have the short answers. So now, luckily, when you look at the test, you don't have an answer sheet. With this, you don't have an answer sheet. Can you see that? Mm-hmm. You don't have an answer sheet. So you can just read the questions and circle your answer, right? Mm-hmm. Now, a quicker way to do that is when you're taking the test, you're taking the test, you can actually mark in your test book. So if you read the passage, you're looking at your answers, you can actually write your answers, record your answers in your test book. And then once you finish, just transfer your answers on your answer sheet. Saves time. Because everything's about time right now. Okay? So you take the test, you circle bubble in 1 through 10, transfer 1 through 10. Go to the next test. If you're going to start at number 31, make sure 31. Okay? Another thing, you want to take 2 pencils. 1 sharp, 1 dull. Which one is going to be easier for you when you're taking the test? Which pencil?
The short one.
The sharp one? Okay. So let me show you. That's good. That's good. These are your bubbles. This is the sharp pencil. You know you got to bubble it in good, right?
Mm-hmm.
See how long it's taking me to do this? It's too much. Dull. Need a dull pencil. It's not gonna take that long. Of course, the bubble isn't that big. So let's just see if I can remember inside the bubble, like it's supposed to be. Sharp is gonna take you all that long time. Dull, you're done. Use your dull pencil. The sharp pencil is like when you're doing math, but keep in mind, if you use your sharp pencil for math, by the time you get to reading, both of them are gonna be dull. So you're good. Because you know they've already tried to trick you, and they put reading in the middle. That's like the third test you're gonna take. So dumb. As a reading teacher, you're so dumb and disrespectful. Your English, math, you're tired, you're ready to go home. Now you have to go read, okay?
Math
Dumb.
first.
Dumb. Okay. Yeah, I know. Dave, what did you say?
I like math first.
I wonder why.
I don't like reading.
I know you live in the house, your dad, I understand.
Oh, that's not the reason.
I got it. Yeah, no one likes reading. No one likes reading. So I'm the nerd. I read the closed caption. I'm not lying. You can edit that part. Yeah, I read the
I
closed
figured that part out. I'd be editing all kinds of stuff out.
Yeah, I do. I'm reading bottom.
Like sitting crisscross applesauce. I'd be editing that out too.
No, you edit.
The other part.
Yeah, the other part. Yeah. Okay. So now here's the deal. This is like the true. This is the caveat here. When you're getting ready to take the test, now that you've underlined everything, you go back to the passage and look for what you've underlined. And then that's when you're reading the passage. And then if you look at what you've underlined, if you've underlined really well, you can get an idea of what your passage is about based on what you've underlined. Key ideas. So you've underlined the key idea to every question. You pretty much know what the passage is about. However, you're always going to read the little blurb at the top. So where it says literary narrative, this passage is adapted from the novel Homeland by John Jakes. All right, so sometimes the passage, the title, kind of matches what you're getting ready to read about. Sometimes it doesn't. But sometimes it can give you an idea of the setting or what era they're in. So, but always read your blurb, all right? All right, let's see what else. All right, when you are answering your questions, your A, B, C, D. Process of elimination is important. You look at your answer. When you read your question, think to yourself, can you answer it yourself? Do you think you have an answer? Okay, if you do, and you look at these, and one is like really dumb, get rid of it. Now look at the remaining three, something else dumb, probably so, get rid of that. Now what's your answer, A or B, okay? But don't forget your letter of the day, or your position of the day for reading. So math, you have letter of the day, 5, A, B, C, D, E. Reading, A, B, C, D, F, G, H, J. So if your letter of the day is B, or position is the second one, it's B and G. Okay? Never leave anything blank. Go in thinking, for graduation, we know we need a 19. So you need to get 19 or 20 questions right, out of 40.
19.
Half. 19 or 20. Right? So that's the thing, that's what you need to think about for reading. I know that reading is a little more than math, but that's how it goes. Okay? All right, guys, so what I want you to do, I'm not timing you. Go ahead and answer the first passage. Oh, another thing, think of it like this. Oh, I can't remember the numbers, hold on. Give me the numbers. Oh, wow. So 11, if you do the 11, 10, 8, 6, you're giving the first passage 11 minutes, the second passage 10 minutes, 8 minutes, 6 minutes. However, if it's your first one and you like that one the best, go in the opposite direction. Should probably only take you 6 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 11 minutes. Okay? what's this, 9? 35 minutes, no time to spare. If you do 8, 8, 8, 8, that's 32. 3 minutes to spare. It's up to you. Okay? So go ahead, let's see how we do on literary narrative. And then when you're finished, just put your pencil down so I know that everybody's finished. A little bit of swag back on yesterday. Oh, you need one for me. So. Stop it, stop it. That's down here. You get done.
No, no, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you text him good. Yeah. Take it. All right.
Was you in somewhere?
No, it was a basketball court right there, like a half court. So now remember, just by looking at the questions, the key words, you should be able to go look in your passage and find your key words and not read the whole passage. Saving yourself some time.
could actually, but
Yeah, see all those coordinates there?
it's every day,
See, no,
every day I go set this up.
something ain't gonna be right, I know that,
Every day I set this up. Even when I teach in class,
yeah,
when I teach in class, I live stream it
you know,
to campus. I got probably 6 or 7 pictures, but, you know,
I just set all of them. That in case I knew, expecting to.
everything. And you better use your own stuff, because it's classroom shit, too. It break half the ground. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, they go to me for every class I teach. It's cool because they can, I turn on the audio system so they can actually ask questions and come over the speakers.
Okay.
So it's actually a pretty good little system.
You just do Zoom.
Because I'm live on board. Everybody who's in class,
Got it.
right? And then with Canvas, it saves it, right?
You can say it in Zoom.
Yeah.
Record it. That's my
But then I have to
first
send it up to everybody, right?
I loaded it, yeah.
Or load it somehow. I ain't gotta do nothing. And,
I think Nikki does all of that.
Ready? That's your feet. Ready?
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh, you eat all the time. You eat all the time, bro.
Not food.
All right, so.
And that little chart is in.
You can solve
Okay, there we go. So this time we're gonna talk about your answer. All right, number one, what y'all get? Grade yourself accordingly so that we'll know, so we can track your scores.
Oh, I thought we were doing which one you wanted to do first.
That's what you did?
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Okay, so let's do this, since you've already done that. Let's, you wanna just go ahead and do the test? Just do it? Okay, go ahead and finish, do whichever one you want, continue on, and then we'll talk about it. All right, David, you good? So for that, let's say 11:30. No. 11:20. 11:20, is that good? Let's say 11:30, 11:30, 11:30.
All right.
Okay, let me grab. Okay. Lil. Yeah, Karen up here. Yes, I'm closing it up with the dog's coming. That's the one. That's it? Okay. Okay. Good stuff. Oh my gosh. If you could like take your time and like go through it.
Which one?
They got about 10 minutes.
Close it now. No, how are we gonna get them?
We can figure it out.
No, I asked you what was done. Was that the thing I sent you, or was that Survey Monkey?
Survey Monkey.
You didn't create an account though. You got the free account, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We ain't ready for all the other stuff.
Right. I need you to do me a favor. Put your phone number on this paper for me. I'm gonna send you a survey or text you a survey. Put your name and your phone number on it and pass it. Take it.
and then we'll eliminate.
Thank you. So 5 more minutes.
You didn't finish the first one.
Right? Everybody good? Okay, so about 2 more minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes up. Alright, so let's take a quick break. You guys can get up and stretch, grab a snack.
How much longer you got, Bob?
I'm at 11:30, so we just got to do. It's 11:30, so we'll break this test, and then,
And then we can do math again. Wayne said he's ready to do math now.
I believe it. I believe Wayne.
Aaron and Don, we're gonna go over a lot of calculator stuff when I start again. So if you guys get a chance, watch the live feed if you need it, okay?
Don, you leave me too. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and go over these so that we can get some clarity for those that have to leave. Okay, so we're gonna start with, go ahead and put them in order. We're gonna start with Joseph Crown. So you just take your answer sheets and just put them all in order. And we'll go back over. I'll give you the answers to those. And then if you have questions while we're going through it, please ask me. Okay, number 1 is A. Number 2 is H. Number 3 is B as in boy. 4 is F as in Frank. 5 is D. 6 is G as in girl. 7 is C. 8 is H. 9 is A. And 10 is H. All right, you guys want to tell me how well you did, or you want to keep going?
Keep going, and
Keep
then
going.
I'll give them the score at the end.
Got it. 10. Wayne, what was the question?
Number 9 was 8, right?
8.
Alright.
All right, number 11 is D, it's in David. 11 is D, 12 is J as in George, I'm sorry, Jeff, J as in Jeff. 13 is B as in boy, 14 is H, 15 is A, 16 is J, 17 is B, 18 is F, 19 is C, and 20 F, as in Frank. 18 was F, as in Frank. 21 is B as in boy. 22 is F as in Frank. 23 is B. 24, J. 25, C. 26, F. 27, B as in boy. 28, J. 29, C. And 30, G. Thirty-one is D as in David. 32 is G as in girl. 33, C. 34, G. 35, D. 36, F. 37, D. D as in David for 37. 38 is F as in Frank. 39, B as in boy. And 40 is G as in girl.
All right, calculate the number you got correct.
Yep.
You should have a number between theoretically 0 and 40, more likely 10 to 40.
Yes.
What was 31, 32?
31 was D as in David.
You good?
32 is G as in girl.
All right.
Can you go over the first one again?
1 to 10, okay. 1 is A. 2 is H. 3 is B as in boy. 4 is F as in Frank. 5 is D for David. 6, G in girl. 7, C. 8, H. 9, A. And 10, H. 33 was C as in cat. And 34 was G as in girl. Okay, count the number you have correct. David, you good?
Yeah, I got 27.
27 correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So that would give you a 23 score. Should I put down 23? What how did you get?
I'm good. I'm still around.
Amber? How much? 30. Okay.
So Amber, you would have gotten 25.
I got 25 right.
You got 25 right?
You got 25 right, you got 21. Brianna,
37.
you got 37 right, good job.
Mm-hmm.
That gives you a 32.
Yeah, for real. Jay, good job, bro. Jay, you still counting? One, you still counting? Jay, what do you need? Right, you can.
Let's go over.
I got 22.
You got 22 correct?
Yeah.
More than 18.
Yeah, it's not. 22 correct gets you exactly a 19. You got 19, so you got 17. Wayne, that would get you past it. Exactly, you gotta get exactly 22. If we can get you up to 24, 25, we're good. Now, take that score, right? You're not gonna talk about that.
No, you're gone, you're good. You're good.
What's that?
22 will get me a
That gets you a graduation plan.
All right.
Remember that? All right, so now let's talk about it. right? So now you just got a reading score. So, and you got how many correct? 19? So when you do it, you gotta try to find 3 more that you can get. Does that make sense? So on a test that you take, whenever you take it, or you do it over multiple days, Jay, just slow yourself down, because you got plenty of time then, right?
Yes.
And really just try to find in, lock in on those ones that you can get, that you can go back and read. So let's talk about it. Remember, we talked about the average being we needed 2 things for average, right? We need sum and total, right? So 75% right futures. 75% right futures, you need a total of what? 100 points. Cameron, total of 100 points. To get 100%, you need a total of 116, I think.
That's the total one.
To get right futures complete, and that's a full scholarship.
Oh.
Okay? A 22, you got 22 questions correct, you get a 19. We're going to celebrate the shit out of that. All right? Because look, everybody's goal's got to be different, right? I mean, everybody's goal's got to be different.
Right.
All right? So if you got to get to 100 points, then you got 23.
No, I got 23, like the score 23.
The score's 23.
Yeah.
He now has to get 77 points over the next 3 tests. Does that make sense? So he's 2 points short of the 25, which means when he takes the math test, he's got to make up those 2 points. What were you short?
I think I got 25 right. I think it was
21? So now, if you got a 21, you got to make up 4 points. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So it's not, the difference between graduation though is you'll get to make them up later. You got to get the 19, you got to get the 22 questions correct. You can't get 20 questions correct on that. Although with reading, just so you know, it's reading can pass it, or a reading English average can pass it. So you actually get 2 opportunities to pass it when you take it on during the week.
Okay.
Okay, Jay, you hear that? You can get a 19 score, which is 22 correct, okay, on reading, or an 18 as an average between reading and English. Okay, so an 18 on reading and a 17 on math, or a 17 on English, would get you an average of 18. So now, you did really well. What did you get?
Your ACT score?
Yeah, the ACT score.
32.
32. So with an ACT score of 32 on the reading test, in order to get Fulbright Futures, Brianna, you have 3 points to play with. So that allows you to get a 28 in math, 28 in science, 28 in English, and you would still average out to get 29. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Is everybody good? Kind of how the system works. Again, your goal is to get to 100 points or 116 points.
Right.
Okay, for scholarships. Okay, for graduation, slightly different. Okay? All right.
What's slightly different about it?
Well, the score you have to get is different for graduation.
Oh, okay.
Okay? So, I mean, like I said, if you're leaving here trying to go to USF, you don't want to try to get a 19, you want to try to get a 25.
All right.
Okay? All right, now. I revised that sheet, and I'll go get it for you in a second. Let's talk about solving some stuff here. And I want to show you, I want to give you a All right, Wayne, you got it? You can try it.
All those numbers?
No. Solve this. Solve that if x is 1/2. You got that sheet from yesterday?
Which one?
Or was that today? Yesterday?
Is it? Oh, wait, it's the same thing. But this was just today's too. Oh, this stuff was from yesterday. The one, yeah, that's the one from yesterday, that's the same one. That right there is
I
today's.
printed it again, and I thought
Yeah.
it was a different one. All right, so, this, what do you get? Somebody got it?
Which one?
What is it? Amber, what is it? It's 2. Now, if you have to type this in, if you have to type this into a calculator, this is why I wish you had a calculator so I can show you how to do it.
One time.
All right, Wayne, get it out. Let me show you how to do it. All right. Couple things, rules for the calculator. Rules for your calculator if you have to solve things on your calculator. Some rules to live by. Number 1, put negative numbers in parentheses. Hold on, I'm giving you some rules right now. I haven't showed you how to type it in yet. Number 1 rule, put negative numbers in parentheses. It will save your life 100 times over. So if you have to put a negative number in, put all negative numbers in parentheses. Now, if I say 8 minus 5 times negative 2, I don't put the negative 5 as the subtraction sign. The negative 2 goes in parentheses. So put negative signs in parentheses. Rule number 2, put fractions in parentheses. Put fractions in parentheses. If you don't have a fraction button, use the division symbol. If you don't have a fraction button, use a division symbol. All right? If there's a top and a bottom, the top goes in parentheses, divide by the bottom goes in parentheses. All right? So if you didn't know how to do this, if you didn't know how to do it, the way you would do it is this. Wayne, you got your calculator? Take it out, let's do it. You would go open parentheses, because we have a top and a bottom. 8. We got to plug in 1/2. Open parenthesis, 1 divided by 2. Close parenthesis. Minus 3. That's the top.
You're correct.
The 1/2 has got to be in parentheses.
Like that?
Yep. 8. The fraction's in parentheses by itself. Minus 3. Close the parenthesis.
Close it.
Yep.
Alright.
Divide.
Divide.
Divide is a fraction, right? So it's got to go in parentheses. 1 divided by 2. Okay? You probably had it, but that calculator's a little better than that one. Just in case. Do you have a PIE 3?
This one's under the
All right. Wayne, hit enter. What do you get?
2.
2?
Yeah.
So you would choose 2. Okay? You would choose 2. All right. How else does this problem look? How else might this look? We can give you this. Say find f of negative 3.
Mine said error.
Here's an error.
That only.
Put the negative 3 in, right?
Probably did.
So we got to do negative 3 squared, right? So open parenthesis. Where's negative? Down here. Negative 3. Close parenthesis. Nope, close parenthesis. Close parenthesis. All negative numbers go in parentheses. That's negative. Squared. Minus 8. Open parenthesis.
Alright.
No, open. That's close. Look at the words, just when it's written. And you gotta put in X, so what's X? Open parentheses with a negative.
Again?
If you're gonna use a negative number, you type it in parentheses. -3 close parenthesis. -4.
Okay.
Yeah.
What, so, always,
When you wanna do a negative number, you gotta use it on the bottom.
always in the way.
Alright? Now, with most calculators, there's gonna be two symbols that look the same. One of them is gonna be located underneath the plus button, it's the minus button. The other one will be located at the bottom near the 0, that's the negative button. So if you wanna do -3, this is where you gotta be careful. Because if you type this into your calculator like this, in all likelihood, it's gonna give you the wrong answer. Alright, Skip? It's the biggest trick in ACT, SAT math. Because what happens is, most students don't get this part punched in correctly, and they don't have that in parentheses. Alright, it messes up the whole problem. That answer's always on there. Okay, that answer's always on there. So, this is 9 minus 56. Excuse me, 9 minus -56 or 65. But for a problem like that, Jay, for a problem like that, what I need you to do is just say, oh, I gotta plug this in, and then get your calculator and learn how to type it in correctly.
Wait, I guess I'm gonna do it wrong, but isn't that like -8 times -3, and then -8 times -4?
That's one way to do it. And then you'll get 9 plus 56. You'll get, if you do it using order of operations, it's -3 squared minus 8 times -3 minus 4. Order of operations would tell you to do the parentheses first. You would get -3 squared minus 8 times -7. If you distributed the -8, you get positive 24, positive 32. But it's this part that gets you. See, on your calculator, hit -3, just type it in the circle way, I'm saying, -3 squared. It's going to tell you -9. See, Doc, you got to put this in parentheses. If not, it F's up.
Yeah.
Okay?
Where I messed up at is, I think what I did was, I took the 24 and the 32, but I just subtracted 32 from 24.
Oh, that won't do it. All right. Any questions on this? All right. Here you go, Dave. This is for you, baby. I got you right here. Hey, Wayne, I got you too. You're gonna get it, and so is Dave. You already get it for 2 totally different reasons. Jay, you're gonna get it too. Always hard. All right.
I've never seen this before.
You're solving. Go.
Oh, man.
You got it?
Of course.
You got it. How?
A different way than you're gonna get it, you're gonna get it too. How'd you do that?
Plug,
Huh?
plug in.
You plugged in? Like you didn't solve it, you plugged it in. How you solve it, Skip?
Plug it in.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
We're not trying to plug you in, it's real hard on that little machine.
I don't
What
know.
class are you in, baby?
Pre-calc.
And you don't have DA3?
You don't get one of those in pre-calc.
Oh, you don't get it pre-calc?
Yeah, you get in stats.
That's the calculator they told me to buy when I started algebra, and I just been using it since.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with that one. I don't want you to think I'm dogging it, or it does sound like I'm dogging it. The only problem with that is because you don't get to see everything that you're typing, it's not quite as easy to use. For example, I'm gonna come right here.
Yeah.
So you essentially have the exact same version, but notice how for him, he's got to do 8 raised to a power, right? We're gonna try negative 1/8 first. So we're gonna go 8
You get one?
raised to, and you're gonna use parentheses, right?
Mhm.
2 times negative 1/2
Okay.
plus 1.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying? And because it types it in, you can look at it the way it's typed. If you try that with yours, it won't work. It just does one number at a
It was
time.
either E or C.
You can buy this one at Walmart for like $14.
That's what I thought.
See, like the last one, every time, I got the right answer doing my hand.
Yes.
On the calculator, no matter what I tried, I got 16.
Yeah. So, you know, if you can do it by hand, it's fine. But if you need to use the calculator, this is the way to do it. Okay? So wait, let me show you how you gotta type this in. Joe? See, this is a problem that y'all just haven't seen yet. No, Jay. What's your name, baby? Okay, but your long name as well.
Oh, Jay.
Yeah. Now you can close to Jay. Jay. This is one that you haven't seen ever, presumably. So on the ACT, you're looking at that going with letter of the day, right? Because that's really your option. My message to all of you is, David's actually seen how to solve it, and he used the same strategy that you're going to use, which is look at the answers and plug them in and see which one works.
That's the fastest way to do it.
Well, I can do my head much quicker than that, but I'm a nerd. So my suggestion is we just type in the numbers. So the fact that you haven't seen it, Wayne, doesn't really matter. The fact that you haven't seen it doesn't matter as much as it does if I have to solve. I'm going to use my calculator and plug in numbers.
Mhm.
How do you plug them in? On this side, 8. You're going to hit the caret key. Do it.
The
8.
carrot- the
Yeah,
carrot
hit
key.
8 and hit the caret key. All right, Skip, you got the caret key on yours as well.
Right.
You talking about this?
Yeah,
Oh, see, that works on the phone. Don't it?
that's the caret key.
Don't say that, but it's that.
Yeah, right there. Now, let's add to it. Let's put exponents in parentheses as well.
You can do it on the calculator?
Yes. That's my point, Wayne. You can actually solve this when, and you don't know that you can. You would be giving away points right here.
Mm.
How many do you need to get right? 10, right? You need to get 10. When you need to get 10.
Yeah.
Every question that says solve should come off your list, because you should be able to take it and plug it into your calculator and get an answer. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
8, wait, hit the caret key,
Okay.
open parenthesis,
Good.
2 x, so it's a fraction, yeah, we're gonna plug in this one. -1/8. Excuse me.
Wait, so,
2, hit the negative key, 1 divided by 8, close parenthesis,
-1. Okay.
plus 1, close the parenthesis. What did you get? Yeah.
4.7 times 6. Look. I don't think Can I type something there?
It doesn't look like it. No, that's fine. All right. So then, that's okay. So now you gotta check the other side. 4, caret, 1 minus, open parenthesis, -1/8.
Alright.
Yeah, 4. You gotta go skip.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you later on that. Did you get it?
Is there a way to just calculate the anything, the exponent other than 2?
Yeah. So, your exponent other than 2 would be.
You give me the same answer. You give me the same answer?
Both sides are the same?
Yeah.
That's your answer.
Alright.
If they were different numbers,
Mm-hmm.
then you would just put in a different number,
Okay.
right?
What about the 1/7? On 1/7.
Okay, so you try the one in the middle, very important, because they're always in order.
Yeah.
Try the one in the middle, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't work, try one of these two. It's a very specific way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't work, like let's say you get 8 and 12, they're not the same. So then try this one. Let's say you get 6 and 15. All right, well you're going the wrong direction. Come back and try this one. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
If you try this one and it doesn't work, then the answer is probably going to be this one. Okay? The goal is plug in both sides until you get the same number that occurs on both answers. And when you do, circle it. Okay? Case in point. Let me show you how to solve that last one by hand. Okay. We had 8 to the, what was it?
Thank you.
You're welcome, Skip, take
2
care.
exponents, 1.
2x minus 1, plus 1.
Plus 1.
Plus 1, right? 4 to the what?
1 minus x.
What you'll do is convert both of these to the same base.
Convert both of them to the same way?
Not you, Wayne, you're plugging in numbers.
Oh,
Don't, I mean, this is for,
yeah.
Her calculator's not as good as yours, you're just plugging in. You got this one? You can plug in. Anytime it says solve, you should look at that.
I got a D.
You got who?
D.
Okay, hold up. Once you do that, Brianna, 6x plus 3, 2 minus 2x. Bases are the same. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes, it says the same, and then you solve that.
Once you get the bases the same, you solve the exponential the same. All right.
Let's bring them both to an upper x, and then I will take the exponent by the other exponent.
Say it again.
So basically, I convert the bases.
The base is the same, and then you multiply the exponents together,
Yeah.
properties of exponents. All right. Did you get this one? Oh, you don't have a calculator, do you? So on this, how did you solve it? You said you got D. What did you do?
Yes.
No, look, this one I did. I hit this, right?
Well, you gotta hit the 6 first then.
Oh, see, that's where I messed up.
Hit the 6 squared minus 12. What do you get? Hit enter. Is that equal to 6?
No,
6 is the number you started with, right?
no, so I'm going to do 6. No,
No.
4.
4. 4 squared minus 12 equals. That gives you the number you started with.
Yeah, that's it's 4.
Yeah.
Well, you do that all the time, see?
Oh, that was just because that's the way it worked out. All right. So again, if it's a solve, you should be able to start plugging in numbers. Start with the middle, and then work your way up or down. Does that make sense? Or you know how to solve it, and you get x minus 4, x plus 3. Okay? Now, here's the way this problem is written. Here's the way this problem is written. Dave, this is the way they write that. They write it in a really complicated looking way, where they tell you that the matrix is this, A, B, C, D, and this tells you everything you need to know. Okay? This tells you everything you need to know. Because they'll say A times D is x squared, B times C is 12, and they want that to be equal to x. Okay? So a lot of times they'll give you something really complicated, but what it works out to is an equation that's actually not that hard if you see what you're looking for. Okay? Where ordinarily you see something complicated and you just shut down and go, okay, I'll just take my letter of the day. If it's a question involving solve, start plugging in numbers and see if you can get the match. All right? So when you take that over the 3 days, you're going to have like 3 or 4 hours to take that math test. So you got to have plenty of time to start just running through numbers into your calculator trying to get to an answer that you can find the matches. Does that make sense? Brianna?
How does that box become that?
So this is the matrix. You do it in pre-calculus. I don't know if you've done it yet.
Yeah, we're not there. We're
You're
in
not there yet.
geometry.
Okay. So this is the matrix. And so they give you, like on the test, they give you, let's see if I can find it. They just give you the information that you need. And they just tell you that this is what it is. So they give you this piece and they give you this piece. and they ask you to solve an equation. So the point being, Brianna, is the box isn't nearly as important as the formula that they give you. If they give you a formula, then you want to focus on the formula, not the actual problem itself. Okay? Let's go here. Let's go here. You can join a book club. Cost of membership, $15 a month. Each book. Is $7. For non-book club members, books are $11. How many books rounded to the nearest whole book is needed before they hit the same? All right, to the nearest whole number, how many is it, Brad?
4.
4?
I heard 2.
You said 2? 2? All right. Well, one way to do it, start with 4. Say, okay, I spend $4 on a book. How much is it for this one? How much is it for this one? See if they're the same. Okay? So in this case, each book is $7. So 7 times 4 plus 15 28 plus 15 is 43. 11 times 4 is 44, so that's close. If we spend $3 or $3, so 7 times 3 plus 15 is 36. 11 times 3 is 33. This one's closer, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. If you're doing that by hand, it's 7x plus 15 is equal to 11x. Subtract 7x, subtract 7x. 15 is equal to 4x. X is equal to 15 divided by 4. 15 divided by 4, 3.75. Wayne, are we closer to 3 or are we closer to 4?
4.
Closer to 4. So we round out to the nearest whole number. There is 4. All right. Questions, comments, concerns?
Can you show me how I can't do 2?
Well,
You basically
plug in
did
2.
it,
Huh?
so you basically just showed me, but.
Okay, so let's plug in 2. How much are you going to spend on 2? This is $22. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Each book is $11. You buy 2, it's $22.
Mm-hmm.
If you plug in 2, 7 times 2 plus 15 is $29. Yeah? How close are these? We're looking for them to be the same.
Not that close.
They're not that close.
Mm-hmm.
If you see, these are 6 off, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
If you plug in 3,
These are 7 off.
it's 7 off. Right? If you plug in 4, it's even worse. I mean, 4 is the best. 4 is the closest. What?
7 from 2, and it's 3 from 3.
What are you talking
They're off that much.
But
22 to 29 is 7. 36 to 33 is 3, not 7.
All right. So, questions?
no.
Let's look at this one. M is the midpoint of AB. How far is M from A? You need to assume that's the right triangle. Where you got it? There you got it? Brianna, you got it? Dave, what'd you get? What'd you get?
20.
20. How'd you do it?
I used, a Pythagorean theorem,
Alright,
and then from there I took the length, and I divided by.
alright, right triangles almost always gonna use a squared plus b squared equals c squared. If you have any right triangle, it's almost always gonna be a squared plus b squared equals c squared. C will always be the hypotenuse. So it's 32 squared plus 24 squared equals c squared. Do you know Pythagorean triples?
I calculated my table.
No. Do you recognize them when you see them?
Like 3, 4, 5.
Like 3, 4, 5? 3, 4, 5 is what we call a Pythagorean triple. Okay? So if any two sides, like 3 times 8 is 24, 4 times 8 is 32, 5 times 8 will be 40, that will be the other side. There's a list of Pythagorean triples. You would probably memorize the first 2 or 3. Okay, because they get used all the time, especially on something like this. They don't do 3, 4, 5, because everybody knows that one. So they just multiply 3 and 4 by a number, and that gives you the third side. It's a very commonly used thing. But anyway, if you type this in, you get an answer. C is equal to 40, yep. So this whole side is 40, which makes the midpoint, J. Cut it in half, you'll get 20. Okay. I wish I used a calculator for this. So Maria ordered the pizza. She ate 2 nights. Her 3 brothers shared the remaining equally. How much did each brother get? You got it? Wayne, you got it? Not yet, keep working on it. All right, Jay, if we're gonna share something equally, does that mean multiply, divide, add, or subtract? If we're gonna take something and give out portions of it to each person, are we gonna multiply, divide, add, or subtract? Not gonna add. We're gonna add to each person's total. But to split it up, we're gonna divide. Okay? Wayne, what's 1 minus 2 ninths?
1 minus 2 ninths.
Yeah, what is that? She ate 2 ninths. We started with a whole. So what's 1 minus 2 ninths? So do 1 minus
2.
divide 9. What do you get? You get
0.77.
0.777.
Yeah.
So now you gotta cut that into how many pieces?
3.
So divide that by 3, so divide 3. What do you get?
0.259.
0.259, right? Which one of these fractions is 0.259? Start here. What's 1 divided by 3?
0.3.
So that's not that, yeah?
No.
So you gotta go up or down, which way you wanna go?
Go up.
All right, what's 3 divided by 7?
0.43.
So you go in the wrong direction?
Yeah, I think I
So do this one,
So 7.
over 27. Same number?
0.65.
All right, David, how'd you do it?
7 ninths, put in decimal, divided by 3, and then divided all those numbers.
How'd you do it, Brianna?
I think it'd be easier if you just
What's that?
put Candace right on the board.
Oh, sure, here.
Because I talk about fractions, my mouth, I always get the words mixed up.
No, it's okay. I got it upside down.
Right.
Yeah, it's okay. I read you now. Okay, thank you. So this is the more formal way to do it. You have 7 ninths left, you divide that 7 ninths by 3. When you divide by a number, you gotta multiply by the reciprocal. This is what we call keep, change, flip. All right. If you just want to type it in, get a decimal, and then start running through all those numbers, that will work too.
That's the easy way to do it.
For some people, sure. If you gave me a choice how I want you to do it, 100%. Jay, I would love for you to get a decimal, and then go pick off all the other decimals. Okay? I think for as much work as you can do on the calculator and your time limit you're allowed, I think it's a good thing. Okay? I think it's a real good thing. All right? Let me ask this one last question. Let me ask this one last one. Let's go back and review what we just did earlier before I stop. Well, let's do a couple more. Let's do this. M and N are non-zero numbers. M times N, no. M plus N is odd. What must be true? A, M is odd. B, N is odd. C, either M or N must be odd, but not both. D, M and N both can be odd. E,
Neither of them are odd.
what did you say?
So neither of them are odd. As an E choice.
M and N are both E. Yeah. Wayne, which one do you think? Jay, which one do you got? You think it's D? Wayne, what do you think? Brianna?
C.
David?
See?
Now, how do you do this if you're given this kind of problem and you don't really know for sure? Well, start picking numbers for M and N. And then take the calculator out and add them together. Right? Pick numbers for M and N. Pick. M is, remember, we don't want to use 1, right? If we're plugging in, we don't want to use 0 or 1. Those two kind of screw things up. So let M be 2, N be 3, let N be 4, let N be 5. Here, we add them together. If M is 2 and N is 4, that's 6. That's an even number, yes? If M is 2 and N is 5, that's 7. That's an odd number. So an even and an odd will work. 3 plus 4 is 7. An odd and an even will work. 3 plus 5 is 8. So 2 odds won't work. We need 1 to be even and 1 to be odd. So if you don't know, just start plugging in values for the 2 numbers that you're given and try to do it. Last one. Last one. This will take us back to where we were. List A has an average of 9. List A has an average of 9. List A has 4 numbers. List B has the same first 3 numbers as list A, but the 4th number and list B is 96. The 4th number in A is 80. What's the average of list B?
Fourth number in A is A.
I think I said it was 80. You got an answer, you got a guess.
I got an answer.
Is it right?
I'm not sure.
Okay, let me rephrase that. Did you calculate an answer, like using a calculator and trying to do it? Or did you look at the choices and go with one you think is right?
I'm looking at the person who I think is right.
Okay, if you're gonna do that, go with your letter of the day. If you're gonna calculate it, and calculate it. If you're just gonna look at the answers and go, I think it's this one. I don't know that that's a pretty good strategy. Unless you have a pretty good reason why you think that, I guess. All right. What did you get, Brianna? Dave, what did you get?
And 94.
Wayne, what did you get?
I got an answer.
How did you just look at 94?
I was better than me.
Okay, there you go. Alright, how'd you get it, David?
Times 4 by 90, subtracted that, which is 360, subtracted 80. That's the
Alright.
first three numbers for B, added 96 to
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I just tried it out and see it works.
So you do 90 times 4 to get to the summation, that's 360. And this is what they do, I mean, this is very classic. We're gonna take one number off and we're gonna replace it with something else. Okay, so you get to the summation first, what was they added to start with? They added the 360, you take off the 80, and now you're at 280, and now you just replace the 96 into it. 366, and then you divide that by 4. Jay, it's very common. I'm going to give you the average, and I need you to work backwards to get back to the sum. You do that by taking the numbers you have and multiplying them by that average. Okay, it's a very common ACT question. All right.
That is.
Now, here's the deal. If you're trying to graduate, let's be honest. You got to get 20 questions correct. Between your ability to do it and your ability to guess, you got to get 20. 10, assuming you get 10 questions correct on the guessing part.
Yeah.
Okay? Which you should if you just make a random letter guess.
Out of 40?
Out of 60.
Oh. You mean like 20?
All right? My point is this. If you've worked 25 of them already, you're sure you got 25 of them right, then you ain't got to worry about it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If you've worked all of them and you've got 8 right, and you know for sure you got 8, you might want to try to work on that one some more. Okay? But the point is, remember this, huge. If you're using your calculator, for example, A equals negative 3.5. Or hell, A equals, A is negative 2.5. What is A squared? You got one?
You can work it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put this in right now.
But you didn't put potatoes on it.
Oh. Oh, wait, that's, oh, shit.
All right.
So it was negative?
Well, no. So here's the point. What'd you get?
6.25.
It's 6.25. If you type it into your calculator, you just do negative 2.5 squared. It's going to give you negative 6.25 and you'll follow for it. What you need to do, if you're putting in a negative number, use parentheses. Okay? Negative numbers, use
That'd
parentheses.
be this, right?
Put it in parentheses. Open parentheses first.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, so open parentheses. Then do negative 2.5. Close parentheses. Square. And you'll have it. I know, the answer is negative. All right.
Well,
All right. That's a lot of ways to use the calculator to try to help you get to an answer. All right. Different types of questions you can see. You got a chance to go get a good score, and I hope you have taken something from this to help you get the score you're looking for. All right, Blonde, you got anything?
No, just everything that I have written on the board over there, they should be able to use. Well, that was on the board.
Yeah, it's gone now. But, just saying. Just make sure, the last things that I wrote on the board, like making sure you choose your, position of the day. Make sure you find the keywords in your questions, because the keywords in your questions is basically going to be like, end up being like telling you the main idea of the story. Again, that letter of the day is so important. Don't waste your time on questions you don't know. Now and later and never, don't forget that. And you're not really reading the story, because once you start looking at the keywords in the questions, you're looking for them in the passage. And so that's the only time you'll actually be, and that saves time.
If you're gonna save time by working the whole page and then going and filling
And
it
then
in,
transferring your answers.
just make sure you're filling in the right bubbles,
Correct.
okay? And generally, you wanna work a page at a time. Work the page, get the answers, and then go bubble all of them at once.
The first.
You don't wanna generally keep going back and forth.
The first passage starts with number 1, the second passage starts with 11, the third passage starts with 21, and the last passage starts with 31. Keep that in mind.
All right, everybody good? Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you so much. You
Please
should be
fill out that
receiving
survey.
a survey from me, if you haven't already. Jay, have you received a survey from me? Okay, good. It says Ben, but it means Vaughn. Please, complete the survey and send it back to me. Thank you. Good luck.
Good luck, Brianna.
If you
Good luck,
need
Wayne. Good luck,
help,
David.
okay, let me go to my card, give you the card if you need help.
Don't laugh, kid. 4-year-old.
All right, guys, you gotta load all that stuff up.
In class, dude, that's all. Good. Fine, but.